Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Let's finish yesterday's Q&A because I did quite a long audio and I didn't answer all of the questions, unfortunately, because I didn't want to make it like 30 or 40 minutes long. This wasn't asked, but I figured out I would answer it. It's my question, but just so people would not do this, because I've noticed people tend to do this. So if I have a spell going, right, I'm waiting for a spell to manifest. Is it okay to do mistakes with the X? Because I have magic behind me, and by mistakes I mean all the stuff that we say in the instructions not to do, begging, being needy, chasing, coming to their home, all of the drama stuff. No, no, you can't do that because it's instructed not to, right? So there's a reason for that. And some people just can't resist it and they do it anyways, and then they ask, will this ruin the spell? um Most likely, yes, most likely. It depends, of course. It depends on a target. It depends on what you did. It depends on a lot of stuff. But it will set you back for sure. It may not fully ruin it, but in some cases, if you did something extreme, it's possible that it will, yes, because um, a lot of people have done these things before. They went and found magic because after doing such mistakes, uh magic is all you have left basically, because um those are huge mistakes, guys, and that's why I advise you not to do them. If you already did them, we can try to fix it. Again, try, because it's not going to be easy. But if you haven't done them yet, don't even do them. And in the future, and maybe if someone is listening to this who doesn't have like an ex or something, don't ever do these things. So never after a breakup, don't beg, don't chase, don't say mean things, don't say things you don't mean, don't do any revenge stuff. It only makes it super hard for even for magic, and just imagine without it, like, yeah. So don't do any of those stuff. It's not good. Also, listen to the audio about why do you want why do you want your ex to feel sorry for you. I think that's what it's called. It's a newer one. So don't do that either. All of these things will only they are doing you no favors, let's put it that way. So no, you can't do these things. And it's just that spells and magic, some people have the wrong idea about them, like there's something extraordinary. But spells are magic. Should I say magic is a part of nature. Magic is natural and it works in a natural way. So if you're gonna be doing the opposite of the instructions, it's not gonna work, obviously. um, and the perception that now I can do anything is completely wrong, because what would it mean if you could do all the mistakes and your ex would still want you back? It would mean that you have a slave, right? That we made them your slave, that they became your love slave. So this would mean that the scenario that some people want to achieve with magic, unfortunately, to get a slave, would actually be possible and would actually happen, and that is not the case. So forget that. Don't do mistakes. And again, I am aware that some people don't do these mistakes because they think magic will fix everything. Most of people who do these mistakes after a spell do them because they just can't help themselves. They are so low in the victim mentality, and they just can't help themselves. So here is an advice of how to help yourself. So basically, this mostly will happen with the anxiously attached people. They will have the urge to do something, send texts or send some passive aggressive texts, or depending on a situation, obviously, and the person. It's hard to give one general example, right? So basically, they will get the urge to basically contact the target when they are in no contact, and stuff like that, because they're anxious and they think that if they don't do some sort of action, they're gonna lose the ex forever and they're gonna just move on with someone else, and they think they're gonna stop that with contacting them, which is not true, obviously, because you can contact them and they can still move on, right? So remember that for once. It will not change the situation, it can only make it worse. And so before you do it, the thing is, if you're anxiously attached, you're gonna have this big urge to do it, and you're just not gonna be able to calm yourself until you do it. And then when you send it, you're gonna feel a bit better, but then again, super anxious, waiting for the reply, wondering why there's no reply, and then you're gonna do more and more mistakes. So you really have to control yourself. You have to learn how to control your emotions. You have to basically control your anxiety. And you can learn those techniques in the workshop for a part, but learning to control your emotions, learning to understand what would be a mistake and what wouldn't, is really, really important. So please don't do those mistakes. Don't do the opposite you were instructed. Magic won't save you. Sometimes it will. If if you haven't done something that horrible, if your target is not that angry, and stuff like that, but most likely to fix it, it will not be easy. So just don't do it. Why would you do it? And besides, why are you doing the spell work? So you don't have to manipulate, so you don't have to do all of these things. So why would you do them anyways? It means that you are very in your victim mentality, that you don't believe anything can help you, and that you just have to make up some manipulative plan. Also, it shows how needy and desperate you are, and that's all the stuff your energy is not supposed to be. And when you act from that energy, you will not get the results you want to get. So you will get the opposite of them. So I don't know why you guys don't believe me on this. Some of you, I think some of you just, I don't think you don't believe me, but I guess it's the fact that if you're very anxiously attached, you just can't help yourself. And I do understand that, but you have to help yourself. Really, really, really have to. Um, so, yes, this is really important. And I think it happens more than you think. And more than people report to me. Some will be honest and say that they have made mistakes, but a lot of people that I had in the past wouldn't even contact me after the spell and stuff, wouldn't stay in contact. And it's really important to stay in contact, which is why I do things differently now, basically. And I take a small number of clients. I usually just work with those that I have. I don't really take new ones here and there. And I make sure that the person is willing to follow the instructions. At least I'm aware that I can't know if they're going to be able to or not, but they have to be willing, because there are people who will tell you yes, yes, and they won't even listen to them, and then they're just gonna be like, oh, magic doesn't work. So that's number one. Number two is that obviously with a new job I have less time, so there's that. And the time that I have is the time that I want to spend on people that are willing to participate, let's put it that way. And I love to spend my energy productively. So that it actually works, because if someone is just going to ignore all the instructions and do the opposite, the spell is not going to work. And I don't like to spend my energy on that, on people who are not even willing to try. I'm aware that, it's hard. The instructions can be hard for some people. It again depends on how far in the victim mentality you are. Some people handle it quite well, honestly. It depends, really. There are very anxious people, and there are people that are not that anxious, and there's all sorts of people, right? So I can't remember where I was, where I was going with this. Um, I guess I was just trying to say that these mistakes are really not great, and I think people do them a lot. And this is why it's important to stay in contact. So if you make a mistake, I will not judge you. Don't be scared of me. You can just tell me, and we can kind of together see how bad was it and things like that. And if we should do something about it or not, if it's gonna be fine or not, and stuff like that. Also, it's important to stay in contact just so I can see what movement is happening, and we can just see what we need to do. I'm really good with advice as well, and advice is always free. So I do recommend staying in contact, and I know that a lot of people are kind of worried to that they will like bother me or be too much, but honestly, uh, if it's within reason, it's totally fine. If it's not some anxious, just you being anxious and sending texts all the time, uh, that are not productive, basically, then it's totally fine. So it's important to stay in contact, to keep me posted, to let me know of movements and everything. And you guys already know that, so just wanted to mention that. And if you make a mistake, it's important to tell me as well. Just be honest. And also another thing I get asked is, when people try to contact me, they will often say, please don't judge, or they will be ashamed of their situation, or something about it. And let me tell you something. um, a lot of the times, people think that they are way worse than they are. Um, so trust me, I know the difference in energies. I know when someone has good intentions, when someone doesn't. So just be honest, and the fact that you did something wrong or whatever does not mean that you are bad or something like that. And I'm not a judgmental person at all. I don't judge even people that want to make slaves. I just don't work with them, but I don't judge them. I know that it's all coming, where it's all coming from, and I have compassion for them, because like I said in an audio, those are the people who don't have self-worth, who don't love themselves, who don't appreciate themselves, and they think they need a slave to for someone to be with them, which is sad. And I don't judge them. Of course, I will not work with them, but I don't judge them. I don't judge in general. And I also understand that someone would want to hack somebody, if someone has hurt them, and now they just want to get revenge because they're hurting. I will not do it, of course, but I get it, I understand it, and you know, I don't judge. So what I'm trying to say is, don't apologize. Don't be scared to say the full situation, because when you guys leave some things out that are really crucial and important, and this tends to happen, and sometimes I kind of connect them later on, or if I take that client, of course, or I just I just kind of sense stuff, right? So sometimes I will know when you're lying and things. So it's better to just be honest and say the full story because it really helps me customize your spell properly. And I can see I'm again blabbing for too long, so I'm gonna end it here. I do have more questions that still need to be answered. But, anyways, thank you for listening and bye.